Alright, so today's video, we're watching a Plat 5 Kiriko on PC. They say, I have no idea how we lost. My team did incredible round 1, but was so slow on defense and ended up going into round 3. We had way more time, so I was confident we could win. But in round 4, we just got absolutely destroyed. My tank was just not doing good. Ending the game 11-11. I mean, maybe that could be part of your problem there too, though. I had over 20,000 healing, but barely any damage. I usually don't go for too much DPS Kiriko because my kunai aim is just terrible. I used to main Zen hard, and that's mainly why I can't adjust to Kiriko aim. Well, you gotta get the projectile speed down, right? Every hero has different projectile speed, so if you were good at Zen, then you can probably practice Kiriko and get that same you want to be able to do those damage. Now I'm doing more main healer as Ana and Kiriko. Maybe I was healbotting too much, or maybe it just was my tank's fault. Seriously, I don't know how we lost. Please help. Oh, we're gonna find out why you lost. Or maybe we won't. But hey, it's a journey getting there, right? Yeah, I mean, Kiriko's a hero you want to find damage output on, right? And I'm not saying you need to finish a game with 7,000 damage on Kiriko, 10,000 damage. But, like, the headshots alone from Kiriko can be such game changers that, like, it's definitely worth going for. Like, right there, like, that headshot, I know, like, they healed it up right away, but, like, those headshots do a lot more than you'll even begin to realize. You said Kiriko and Zen projectile speeds are the same, though? Are they? Well, then, honestly, then you should be fine on Kiriko. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have the projectile speeds on hand. Good TP. Good TP and cleanse. Hey, you're fine for now. Nice. Good start. I mean, this is a good start, which I think you said it was a good start, so. By the way, if your Rhine plays like that, I can see why they go 11-11. What rank is this? Plat. And I only say that because the way they're playing is very aggro. So if they play like that consistently, it's going to be like, what is it, feast or famine? Like, it's going to be like, it's going to be hit or miss. Guaranteed, especially playing Reinhardt right now. Yeah, I'll be playing comp after we check the patch notes, so yep. Or at least I'll give a look on everything. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we do get a lot of support VODs. So if you're watching this VOD right now and you're like a tank player or a DPS player and you're saying like, hey, you know, why, you know, where was the DPS stuff, etc. We just, a lot of the time we just need good DPS codes and tank codes. We just don't get them. They're just not, I think support is by far one of like the highest submissions we get, which is great. Because I get to watch a lot of really good support stuff and like learn from it. But like, yeah, I mean, definitely we are looking for more of those. So it's always the tank's fault. I mean, you got to blame the tank no matter what, right? I mean, as a tank player, if I'm not getting blamed immediately, even though like tanks are in a unique spot, even though today's the patch, but good job saving Kitsune there. Not bad. Keeping your teammates healed. Good start so far. I mean, your teammates are absolutely rolling. So this is PC. You said you'll try to have a mid-game tonight and submit a tank or DPS code? Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's great. I'm sure your teammates will love that. Okay, here we go. Anything for submissions, my Discord, by the way. My Discord.
It's not your time yet.
Kitsune in a second. I want to see the Kitsune in about 4 seconds. Maybe get to your Rhine and then Kitsune. Big slam! Now Kitsune. Perfect. Little bit delayed, but like the timing, like I get the timing on that too. Yeah, your Rhine's dead. Just get out of there. Yeah. You're good luck. Honestly, I probably would have TP'd to the Rhine too, and I think the same result would have happened, but I get why you did that. Kitsune was fine. I mean, your teammate's playing a Rhine against a Roadhog right now, like, they're not going to have much fun. Especially if they pay attention to just, like, breaking shields and stuff. Creeps, thanks for the 13 months of the Tier 1. Thank you. You're right, that is almost the year. Thank you for the 13 months. Appreciate it. Did you just blame DPS? I mean, if you're playing Overwatch, the best thing to do is just blame your teammates, right? It's never your fault you're losing, it's always your teammates. Alright? How dare you not play perfect in my single-player Overwatch 2 game, okay? Huge help by your Reaper. Nice shot. Don't be afraid to TP in and save him. You would have been okay if you TP'd in there and then used your cleanse. At the same time, maybe the Moira, I don't know. Either way, it's fine. I think you win the team fight. Moira on point behind you. There's a Moira on point behind you. Alright, you're good. Alright. Not a bad attack, you know? Not bad. How do they still lose like that? I mean, you can have, like... Okay, here's what happens. Someone goes, how do you still lose when you have this much time? You ready? I'll tell you how you lose games like this. This is what happens. Are you ready? Your team snowballs. So what happens is, and the reason why a lot of teams lose games like this, specifically, is because they don't know how to work as a team yet. They just know how to snowball the other team and make a bunch of individual plays. So when the game kind of gets down into that, like, you need to work as a team, because your team hasn't been playing against that and hasn't had to play as a team yet, that's when you start to lose games like this, because you need to actually work together and make plays. That is why sometimes you'll have a game like this where you have this much time and you still lose, because the individual plays that were working before don't work now. And you need to rely on a couple teammate combos and things like that. Okay, here we go. Orisa now. Don't be afraid to cleanse. Yep. By the way, in that situation, I know you're trying to, like, save, like, this perfect cleanse, but, like, the virus does so much damage that just cleansing your cast there probably results in your cast surviving that, and you just win in the team fight. Are the servers down? I don't think so. Alright, here we go. On to the patch. Hour and a half. TP up. Kill your Rhine. Probably could have killed the Orisa if you wanted to there, but I understand why you're healing your Rhine. They're playing Reinhardt. How do you get your team to stop staggering? I mean, I'll let you know when I figure that out too. It's gonna depend on, like, the play style of your teammates. I'll have top 500 games where I can't get my teammates to just wait. Best thing you can do is say, hey, can we just regroup for a second? Maybe explain why you need to regroup, and that's about it. Sometimes your teammates just want to play a different one. How was Marvel Rivals? I had fun. Marvel Rivals was fun to me. I had a good time. This is Spectating. This is in Plat. So far, I mean, a good start again. I mean, like, this has been a good start for your team. Thank you. No, I'm recording videos. Nice.
Our futures are intertwined.
Oh, you know you stagger, but you can get a sweet 5K with your ultimate? Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Okay, now that you say that, you're 100% right. That's on me.
Carried on the wind. This ends now.
Wow.
Thank you.
I mean, your team's dominating so far. It also, like, how does your Rhine go 11 and 11? Because they've been playing okay now. Do they not get in the limb after a certain point? Your positioning. Positioning is tough, and then you get EMP'd. Positioning was tough, and then you get EMP'd. They have EMP plays. But yeah, I mean, it all started with bad positioning. Like, they didn't give themselves an opportunity to make a play. All right. Kitsune the corner here if you want to. Like, at this, kind of at this angle. Yeah, kind of at this angle. Like, don't give them opportunity to retake this back. Your team's dominated so far, right? The worst thing you can do is wait. Perfect. Great. I'm fine with that. They can disengage it, but you have an opportunity to be aggressive. I am fine with that whole sequence. Now your Rhine needs to not do that. Your Rhine needs to hide. Rhine needs to hide. Okay. That's a cool wall climb. Look cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, that's a play style. That's on your Rhine. If your Rhine's mad at you for not healing, then they're completely right. What are you doing now? That's on you. That was a bad play by Rhine. Remember the last time? Yeah, they went into Healbot mode quite a bit, and they did mention that. And the thing is, like, I don't think they need to go in Healbot mode as much. I think, like, they just stopped DPSing. And that's kind of part of the problem. Good Suzu, it worked.
Come here. I can heal you. Reading your cards.
That's gonna get eaten. Yep, saw that coming from a mile away. I knew that was gonna get eaten. Whenever, like, remember, they can eat your ult. Shoot at them more. Like right now, like, dude, you have a 75% HP Reinhardt. You're throwing a Suzu at them, and you can DPS. Like, that is where you need to find that DPS time. So you said, like, yeah, you might have healed botted too much. Yeah, you did. Big slam. Yeah, your Ryan's dead.
Under my protection.
Oh, this is nice. Hey, you're dead there. I mean, you can Suzu the wall and hope for the best. Good movement. Yeah, they can block a healer too. Actually, no, they can't because there's a pylon. Can't block that. TP out to your teammate. Nice TP. All right. And why do they throw Suzu there? I don't know. They wanted to hit a button. Okay. I want you to regroup as a team. Now they're on Sigma. I want you to Kitsune.
My ultimate is ready. Join me.
Okay. How do you put in gameplay? My Discord. Okay, you ready?
This ends now.
Okay, I'm just gonna pause for a second. Obviously, there's plenty of time left in this game. Why did you kind of go into Healbot mode is my question. Because you started off the game playing really aggressive, and then out of nowhere, you started to just go for a bunch of healing. And I think that's the problem that, like, I get confused by here, is because it was working with being a little bit more aggressive with your damage, and then you just stopped, and you went into Healbot mode. The amount of pressure a Kiriko can do damage-wise is so good. It doesn't mean don't heal, but, like, you can find damage, and especially when you're running this Ayari Kiriko comp. As long as your teammates aren't constantly at, like, 2% HP, which they haven't been, you can just do a bunch of damage. Like, you can make it really frustrating for the other team with how much damage output both of your supports can do. Good Kitsune, by the way. I'm okay with this.
Oh, I feel all warm inside.
Did probably the tank complain? Yeah, but if the tank, like, there comes a certain point where, like, and I'll pause again. If your tank is complaining about lack of heals, but then they're playing the way that they are, there's a certain point where you can't just go like Healbot mode because your tank thinks you're not healing them, right? At that point, they perceive that they're not getting healed. They're like, oh, I'm not getting healed. But in reality, they're getting pumped with heals, but like not many people have kind of adjusted to the new tank playstyle, even since Season 9. So a lot of tanks are expecting a lot of heals. At a certain point, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna do my best to keep you healed, but I can't stray away from my gameplay. Because if you stray away from the way that was working, this is what happens. If your Reinhardt charges into their backline and does that, like, it comes to a certain point where you're not gonna be able to keep your Reinhardt up no matter how good you are. And that becomes the problem. Well, I mean, yes, tanks struggle right now a little bit, but like bad position is generally, no matter how strong tanks is, will lead to your tanks getting rolled. Now, obviously, if there's a bit more survivability on tank, you have more wiggle room. But like, yeah, a lot of the time your tank's dying due to bad position. So. So you don't need a Healbot? It's all dependent, right? Every game's gonna play differently, right? But this is not a game where I personally believe that you needed to go into Healbot. Does that make sense? Like some games you're gonna have. I'll give you an example. Some games you're gonna have a Mauga who is just taking as much damage as possible, and you're playing Ana, and by the end of the game, you felt like you did a strength workout because you just can't do anything but heal your Mauga or like your Orisa or like whoever's taking damage, right? But it's all situational. In this game, if your Reinhardt's charging into their spawn and they're mad that you're not healing them, which I don't know if they are, then like don't change up your playstyle completely at that point. Either get your teammates to go in with your Rein, and if they're not going to, then you have to play just more of what you were doing before and make it work. And it was working on attack. Remember that. On attack, you were doing more of that damage output, and it worked. And then you stop doing that. And I think sometimes that happens with a lot of players. When you play defense differently. But sometimes, keep in mind, the way that you're going to cap an objective is going to be different, right? You're defending it. It doesn't mean that you can't play the same way that you play an attack. And I think a lot of people will have that happen, where players will play their defense way differently than their attack. But in reality, you can play the same way on both rounds. And I think sometimes players will lose track of that, and they'll try to play it way differently. Yes, you're going to play, your position's going to be different, all of that, but like you can still make the same plays you make on attack. You can still play even aggressive at times, if you want to. This is PC. This is Plat on PC. Do I have a code for rivals? No, I gave it to Plats last time.
Let me balance you out.
Like, you see your Orisa right now? If their Orisa keeps doing that, they're eventually going to get grinded down. Yeah, your soldier is fine.
Like a
Where's your Orisa?
rain.
Okay.
For every bad, there's some good.
I'm watching. I'm watching. Okay, so the reason why I didn't say anything for the majority of that, and I kind of want to showcase this a little bit. One of the major issues that you ran into right there, right, specifically, is that your Orisa dropped down early, right? Your Orisa dropped down for no reason. And the problem here, and if you're a tank player listening to this, when you drop down here, you're actually increasing the chances you take damage, right? Because if you're up here, they go up here, you can hide, play angles. They have to go here to do damage to you at that point. So if you drop here, you're gonna make it more. You're gonna make it way more difficult on your team. So remember, as tank players, you don't need to drop down to the point when nothing's happening, because all you're doing is gonna take poke damage, and that's all that Orisa did, and it makes it harder on your supports, right? I know we're kind of off track here because we're watching the Kiriko, but remember, position is key, and you don't have to drop down right away. You just don't have to. There's zero reason to go take a bunch of poke damage, right? Yeah, I mean, you can help with the pressure there too. But yeah, avoiding that damage is a huge part of tanking. And a lot of players just want to take damage. That's also why a lot of players just want to Ryan in their team, because you can, like, the way it plays is a lot more, like, simplistic on how it would play. Hide in the right room. Orisa don't peek. Orisa don't peek. Orisa don't peek. Orisa don't peek. I mean, Suzu's okay there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I only say uh-oh there because I think that... maybe you win? Maybe you do win this. Okay, you won that. Woo! Good job. And Orisa made it difficult, but they kept peeking. Now they're on Roadhog? What? I don't... Sometimes when it comes to hero selection, I have zero answer for you, chat. I have no clue. I have no clue on this one.
Like mending a shadow.
I'll show you the drop skin again after this game, okay? After we finish spectating this one. So he's not getting healed, so he goes hog. Yep, that's what it is. Doesn't even make any sense. Why go wrong? Why go hog? I mean, I'll charge delivery. Anybody need any ult charge? Here you go. Any ult charge? Anybody need any? I got some for you.
My gift to you.
Well, the thing is, we don't even know if the tank is blaming the supports. But, like, whenever I see someone randomly go hog, it makes me feel like they feel like they're not getting healed. But, like, it's because their position is just ain't good. Dude, there's... It's Overwatch, they're definitely blaming sports. Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, I think you're doing fine. You're just trying to chase your hog around. When you play enough in the metal ranks, you start to be able to tell the petty swaps based on vibes. That'll... Remember, in these situations, don't try to force a play when you're down in numbers. There's zero reason to do that. Don't try to force a play. The best thing you can do is let them over ult, and guess what? Look at your ult pool right now. If you didn't use that ultimate, you have a free Kitsune coming up. Now, instead of having no Kitsune, all you have is a high noon. Wait for it. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Your team is kind of just... I don't know how to explain it. Your team's like... It's almost like your team's becoming impatient and doesn't want to wait on a team fight. They just want to keep going in over and over again. And I feel like there's like a time in where it's okay to wait like an extra 5 seconds. It's okay just to chill for a second. Just wait 5 seconds. Go in as a team. Okay, perfect. Your team is settled down now. You're going up high ground. Everybody's here. You have a high noon, you can Ramatra your shield, and your Ramatra's running in a straight line at them. Okay, perfect. You're pretty much making the correct play there to go wide. All right, here we go again. Dude, you gotta reset. Just let them get you. Even then, I don't know if you can... Daddy Bear's Beard, thanks for the 25 months of the Future Prize, thank you. Yeah, their tank kind of was just on, like, their own island. They were just doing whatever, and, like, it felt like there was no rhyme or reason. By the way, if you... I do have one suggestion here, Jack. There is one hero. Keep trying to play here, by the way. Never know if your team is missing touch point.
The point is vulnerable.
I know you're probably typing or something, but, like... I want to point out, you could be there with your team. I'm not saying you win it, but it's still worth it. Okay, so... You know, I have one suggestion for you here, too. And what the suggestion I have is that if you ever have, like, a tank who is playing like that the whole time and making it really difficult, because, you know, you did ask. I do think, I want to, two things I want to point out. You said, hey, what do I do? Like, you know, was I healbotting too much? Yeah, you went into healbot mode way too early, in my opinion. And it became a certain point where I think you would have gotten more value by just going for damage output and then, like, occasionally healing your tank. But there's also another hero you can go here. If for some reason you have a tank who plays like that, just go Lucio, right? You ever notice how you were just following the, like, you were just following the Reinhardt, I mean, not the Reinhardt around, like your tank around, and they just kept walking away from you and running away? Sometimes, if you go Lucio in that situation, you can actually speed boost them around and be able to kind of keep your team with them and set the pace. Don't be afraid to make a switch like that. But yeah, I think you went into healbot mode too early. I really think that, like, you underestimate the value of how good your kunais can be. And you said that you played Zen, but yeah, like someone mentioned earlier, like the projectile speed's pretty similar. So I would definitely practice your kunais, because as you climb, you're going to have less 20,000 healing games as Kiriko, and you're going to have more 14,000 healing with 7,000 damage games. And in order to do that as you climb, that's what's going to make you really set the tone as Kiriko, and especially in those situations. So I think, yeah, you went healbot mode too early. You said it was your tank's fault. You know, I'm not going to put the full blame on the tank, because I also think you changed your playstyle too aggressively. But what I will say is that your tank did not make it easy on your team, and certainly made it so this game went from a very high percentage chance of winning to a very much lower percentage chance of winning just because of the playstyle. So that was kind of like a mix of both with the teams there. But I definitely would try to find more ways to get value on that. All right? If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. If you want to submit your own Spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord right there. That's where you would do that. We also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat right below, so stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun here. Leave a comment, all that stuff. It all helps. And with that being said, I hope you have an amazing day/night.